There is. And I love the saying I read in an old book, many might be well if only they thought so.
That's a great one.
I
it's
love
so
that.
true.
So if someone thinks they're going to get dementia, they probably will.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Bible says that too. So a man thinketh, he shall become.
As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Mm-hmm.
And a lady said to me one day, I can't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep. I said, don't say that anymore. She said, why not? I said, because every cell in your body's listening.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, looks like we can't sleep.
Yeah.
She
and
said,
so when you lay down to sleep, you go, this is something I don't do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all say, oh, yeah, we're listening. So what I say is just say, I'm going to try. I'm going to get there. Like my daughter Emma, she said, Mum, I'm going to grow up in a minute. She was 5.
Yeah. You know,
Took her another 10 years. It's actually your words had an effect on your mind.
You know, it reminds me of a funny story just popped in my mind. Years ago, I had a friend named Mark Goodman. He had this home on an island, Usepa Island. And all the kids and I used to go out there, and we were participating in this fishing tournament one day. So all the kids had those little, ones the line you unwrap, and we had chicken down and we're catching fish on the pier. It's all lined with families and kids. And this little girl, she was probably 10 years old. She falls into the water and she starts thrashing around and she starts screaming. And all the parents from the other pier all jump in, and they're all making their way over to her. And my partner's right next to her, and I know he's not doing anything, and he just yells at her. He goes, "Stand up!" And she stood up, and it was like less than waist deep water because I was coming down the pier, and he was just so calm. And he let her thrash for a second, and he said, "Stand up!" And then she just stood up, and it was like literally below her waist. So by the time all the parents who are now soaking wet in all their clothes, and all the moms, the hats flying off, had made their way over to her, she was just standing up. So sometimes the solution's right in front of us.
It often very much is. So really, we've got to tick the boxes.
Yeah.
We've got to tick the boxes now.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that body moving. Keep that colon working. And if you're well hydrated and you're eating lots of plants, it will. And relax, laugh more.
Yeah.
Do you know children laugh 125 times a day?
Probably
so
adults, maybe 10.
And my daughter-in-law told me this, that her little grandson, Sonny, the guy that stood on the rusty nail, he called her in one night and said, "Mom," she's put him to bed. He said, "What is it?" He said, "I found a new laugh." She said, "What is it?" And he went,
That's so good.
We should laugh more.
I agree.
Remember the Blue Zone? Social.
Yeah. Sense of community and purpose. Barbara, you're amazing. Where can my audience find you if they want to know more about you?
I'm about to make an official statement. Official BarbaraO'Neill.com.
Official. BarbaraO'Neill.com.
This is official.
Do you have a book?
I have a couple of books.
I was going to say, you really need a book, and I'm going to read them all.
I've got a book on mycotoxins.
You do?
I'm so happy to hear you talk about mycotoxins.
Oh, mold and mycotoxins.
Because that's an area many people don't know about. And because of the ignorance, I've written a book on it, and it's called Self-Heal by Design.
Do you talk about detoxing from mold and mycotoxin?
The true role of microorganisms in disease. And that was my first book. I think I wrote that in about 2016. Now, my most recent book that was published last year is called Sustain Me. And Sustain Me is an acronym for the basic laws of health. Sustain Me is a handbook on natural therapies. I have a chapter on hydrotherapy, a chapter on poultices. I start at the head. I look at ears, they're eyes. Eyes, ears, respiratory. I go into the stomach, bones. So it's like a handbook on natural remedies.
Fantastic.
And my husband has written a book called The Assassination of Barbara O'Neill.
Wow. That will be a good one.
Now, as you can see, I have not been assassinated.
Yes, I would say we should change the title maybe to The Unsuccessful Assassination.
But I said to Michael, that's a bit strong. He said, no, it's good.
Yeah, no, it'll get attention.
And it's basically a book of why I was banned and what the Australian government did to me.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to go in for just a few minutes into my VIP group. I have a VIP community. These are the real community that I serve. I spend a lot of time with them. We do one-on-ones and live coaching, and I'm trying to build an army of like-minded people. So folks can become a VIP by just going to my website, ultimatehuman.com/VIP, because they're the only ones that I let know who's coming on the podcast. And then they get to ask some questions. So they got a couple of questions for you, but I wind down all of my podcasts by asking my guests the same question. There's no right or wrong answer to this question. What does it mean to you to be an ultimate human?
What it means to me to be an ultimate human is I want to be able to help others get the most out of their life. And I'm a very shy, quiet lady. I was living in a rainforest with all my children, never dreaming what God had planned for me. But I am married to a man who said to me, I hate health lectures, but yours make sense. And he really has been the one that has pushed me forward. And the most wonderful thing for me is I'm walking along the street and like last night, waiting for the Uber, and a young man, he looked like he was 25. He said, are you this lady here? He had me on the... I said, I am. He said, you saved my life. He said, I can't believe that He said, thank you. Thank you. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. And I believe that we are here for each other.
I agree.
Absolutely for each other. And if I can make a difference in only one person's life.
Well, you made a difference in a lot. And that happens to me too. And it is chicken soup for the soul when it does.
It is. Yeah. Some people say, you must be sick of this. I said, never.
Well, guys, it's VIP time. I hope you enjoyed the podcast.